Right, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. What's your name?
My name is Rudy Davis.
Rudy Davis. I'm Jonathan Skinner.
Nice to meet you,
So
John.
what brings you out here today?
Well, I am a King James Bible-believing follower of the Lord Jesus Christ. I run a Christian prison ministry in Texas.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I advocate for the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. And I'm here to tell you that the most dangerous thing to the American people is democide. And that is death by government. Our government has killed Lavoy Finicum. They've killed Sam Weaver, who is Randy Weaver's son. They killed the people at Waco. They are killing people. Leroy Schweitz with the Montana Freeman. I could go on and on. They have tried to gas and kill Ed and Elaine Brown, who's currently been in prison over 10 years. We have a website that we advocate for innocent people in prison called Year of Jubilee, J-U-B-I-L-E with one E, just like it's spelled in the King James Bible. And there are innocent political prisoners all over this country that were set up by the FBI. And I'm calling for the eradication and the destruction of the FBI within America. I think that the FBI is the most evil organization. They come from the loins of Satan, and they are corrupt to the core. It isn't just a few bad apples at the top. They have institutionalized evil.
Corruption.
They have absolutely
corruption
done that.
at the core.
They have absolutely done that. And we are advocating for men and women who are behind bars that have been set up and entrapped by a fraudulent judicial system. Our judicial system, if you're still naive enough to think you're going to go in trial and get a jury of your peers, you are sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
We have lost it. We have lost it. We have got to rise up as an American people and say enough is enough, and we will not allow our brothers and sisters to be killed, tortured, and imprisoned. Another person that we advocate for is Schaefer Cox. I don't know if you've heard of his name.
Does it ring a bell? Not right now.
He ran for the Alaska House of Representatives. He won like 38% of the vote in a three-way race. They put him in a secret prison. It's called a Communications Management Unit. It was not authorized or funded by Congress. And if you get a chance, check out freeschaefer.com. He was a rising political star. It isn't the Russian collusion that we need to worry about. The FBI has interfered in the free and fair elections of this country. And we will never give up our guns. We will never tolerate any crap like this from these colleges. This is in our own backyard. This is in our own backyard, and we ain't giving up our guns. And that just ain't gonna happen. Everybody has a right to self-defense. It's a God-given right. We have a blessing of liberty that comes from God. And this government, this satanic government who kills babies, puts innocent people in prison, gives terrible trials in our judicial system, we simply ain't going to tolerate it anymore. And if it requires us to stand up, then we will stand up.
Awesome. Wow. That was
Well, God bless you for getting involved. And
thank you.
I really think we need to get the word out.
Ah, I feel it.
And
So give me, what are your feelings on the Second Amendment?
well, it shall not be infringed. I mean, it's just that simple. And anything that the U.S. military ought to be able to have, I ought to be able to have. That's
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. It shall not be infringed. They ain't going to limit the amount of bullets in my magazine. They ain't going to limit the type of weapon that I carry. And there is a guy by the name of Skylar Barbeau. He built his own rifle, and he was in the military as well. Very active Marine, and they tried to put him in prison for many years. I think
For manufacturing?
Yeah, for manufacturing a firearm.
I forget where it was. I think this is in Portland. I forget where, but there's this guy who was making homemade. He was making homemade rifles, and they did a buyback program. They'd buy them for $400.
Yeah.
And this guy just started mass manufacturing. He could make 5 rifles a week.
Yeah, there you go.
He started mass manufacturing, giving it to the government.
You bet.
With guns that were made out of scrap metal.
It's insanity.
You know, and they bought it. They were like, "Hey, this is a gun." And I was like, "But
Yeah.
you totally like if he can do this on his own, that means anyone can do it on his own with scrap metal."
Yeah.
You know, so you're not making it safer from doing things from manufactured because you can still. I've even seen video of guys in Afghanistan, you know, sitting there making rifles. You know, and they got like 20 guys in a line, and they just passing parts and making it with no tools,
Right.
no machines. They're using hammers.
Yeah. This government, I don't even consider our government anymore. They don't represent the people. They are an enemy of the people, especially the FBI, the Department of Justice, the CIA, and the IRS.
Have you caught any of the footage this week of the FBI, what is it, Rosenstein getting grilled? Have you caught any
I
of
have
that?
not caught any of that, but whatever.
It's gold.
Good,
Go
good,
and
I'll
watch
check
it.
it
But
out.
he denied, you know, they subpoenaed him to get he said, you know, if you've got something that you know, was going to impeach the president, well, the American people need to know, why do we keep making requests? This was Trey Gowdy. He's like, why do we keep making requests and we keep getting denied what we request? So they gave him 7 days and they did a subpoena, and Rosenstein announced this weekend that he will not not give the files subpoenaed by Congress to Congress. He feels that the FBI is now above Congress, and that he has the right to tell Congress to go to hell because he's doing his job, and no one has a right to know what he's doing.
It doesn't surprise me that you tell me that. The FBI is an enemy of the people of America. They need to be eradicated from the United States. They are not protecting our rights. They're not giving. They're entrapping people. There's a book called The Terror Factory, exposing the entrapment of the FBI in America, and they talk about how they're manufacturing terrorism within the United States. If they're paid.
I wouldn't doubt it.
If you pay the FBI billions of dollars to find terrorism, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to find terrorists. They manufacture terrorists.
They create them.
There's a book. It's about a Muslim, but it's called Terror Error, and T is in parenthesis, and it talks all about the entrapment techniques of the FBI. If they can do this to them, they can do it to us, and they have.
There was that one guy. I'm gonna have to look it up and give links to this later on. Yeah. But there was one guy.
There you go. Got it. Yeah.
But there's this one guy who ended up. They caught him on a bomb plot.
Yes.
And it turns out that they hired him to build these bombs. They gave him the bomb making material, and they come on the news. They're like, "We stopped a terror attack."
Yeah, it's insanity.
You literally found a crazy guy, gave him materials. Now
that's not as unusual.
And I hate
that's not as unusual as you might think.
And I have a lot of questions about that bomber in Austin. I got to say, I have a lot of questions and not a lot of answers for that event specifically. Like where does a teenager, young college kid get the knowledge, the know-how, and the equipment to build that sophisticated?
Well, I don't believe anything we're told by the mainstream media anymore. The mainstream media and the FBI and the Department of Justice and the IRS are enemies of the American people. We got to stand up and acknowledge that. And it's not just a few bad apples at the top. They have institutionalized the evil of their organization. And there are many books on our website, yearofjubilee.com. You know what the other name for the website is? Even though it's the same website, is IHateTheFBI.com. Just go to IHateTheFBI.com.
All right. Same site?
Same site.
All right.
And you'll see all the people they have entrapped in prison, tried to kill in prison. They've withheld exculpatory evidence from the Department of Justice. I don't know if you remember the story of Senator Ted Stevens. There was an FBI whistleblower named Chad Joy, and they caused Senator Ted Stevens to lose the re-election bid. Okay, Chad Joy came out and said the FBI had unethical relationships with the media and they were demonizing Ted Stevens and the media. The judge had to overturn the decision that he got a guilty verdict.
Yeah.
But when the thing is that these prosecutors and these Department of Justice individuals, they never get held accountable for the wickedness that they do.
Yeah.
Right. If we walk across the street with a gun on a college campus, we'll go to jail.
But apparently, if I walk across the street with the camera, I'll go to jail. That's what they told me.
Right. But they send our brothers and sisters in the Patriot movement to prison for 27 years when there's no victim whatsoever. These people are satanic. They need to be taken down from their positions, lose their job, and they need to go to prison. Or once they've had due process, in my opinion, they need to feel the full extent of the law, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
But these people are wicked, wicked evil, and we've got many, many examples. And Schaefer Cox being one of them. We have a guy named Bryce Quellar. He's also known as Fisher of Men on YouTube.
Okay, I haven't seen him yet.
He made popular the idea that Michelle Obama was a man.
Okay.
The Secret Service went and visited him. He did not do any crime, and yet he's sitting in a maximum security prison right now for making one YouTube video and talking about homosexuals and Satanists in government. So they seem to think they operate above the law, but we don't allow anybody to operate above law in this country, and men and women of this country have to stand up and put a stop to it. In the Gulag Archipelago, written by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, one of the lessons that he said we all need to learn is that we got to make it hard for when they go for the next guy. And so we can't be pushovers ourselves. And when they come for you to arrest you, and that's an attack upon your liberty, which in my opinion is an act of war, you have the right to defend yourself. And
stop you.
I thought we were going to have a jumping out and let's get it on.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get a license plate just in case. But he's flipping around.
Alexander Solzhenitsyn said that you got to make it harder for when they go for the next guy, and that's what I believe too. And so we are not going to give up our guns, and that's a fantasy land where they think that's going to happen.
Let's see what this guy's doing real quick, because he flipped around and he's coming back. He's got his window rolled down.
There you go.
Yeah, he looks suspicious. He's flipping around again.
Let me get my cameras on too. I have to get my glasses.
won't even let us use the parking lot on that campus.
Well, hey, I appreciate everything.
Hey, God bless you. Don't hesitate to check out my website. My phone number and my email address are at the top of that website. And we really do have collected a lot of stories about innocent American political prisoners.
Okay, awesome.
And, you know, I talk to them on the phone quite a bit. They call me and we put out their letters, and it's a terrible situation, man. But God bless you for getting the truth out.
Well, thank you. I will try.
Yeah, amen, amen.
All right. Keep it up.